Welcome to the Basic Civil Engineering lecture series by Roy M.Thomas.
Namaste, welcome back. Now we will see the different steps, different stages involved in a concreting process. Different steps or stages involved in the concreting process. The different steps or stages involved in the concreting process are batching, first one batching, then mixing, transportation, after transportation placing, then compaction and curing of concrete. So, these are the different steps or stages involved in a concreting process: batching, mixing, transportation, placing, compaction and curing of concrete. Now, we will see one by one. First one, batching. What is meant by batching? Batching means the measurement of materials. As you know, in one of the video I have mentioned what is concrete. It is a mixture of cement, sand, aggregate and water. So, measurement of these materials, how much quantity of cement, how much quantity of sand, aggregate, etc. That process is called batching. So, batching means measurement of different materials for making concrete, that is called batching. So, there are two ways we can measure these materials, the two ways. The first one, volume batching, and the second one is weight batching or weight batching. The first one, volume batching, for most of the work or commonly adopting method is volume batching. If it is a design work or a big project like construction of dams, bridges, highways, etc., second method is preferred, that is weight batching. The first one, volume batching, how it is carried out? Usually there will be a measuring box in the site like this, a box with two handles. So, these are the handles. This box is made in such a way that its volume is equal to the volume of one bag of cement, which is equal to 0.035 m3. So, why or what is the advantage of making a box like this? Like this means its volume is equal to volume of one bag of cement. The advantage or the benefit is, suppose if you want to make a concrete, say M15 concrete. So, what is the mixed proportion of M15 concrete? That is 1:2:4, 1 part of cement, 2 parts of sand and 4 parts of aggregate. Suppose if you want to make concrete for 1 bag of cement, you are taking 1 bag, you need not measure cement because it is available in 50 kg, okay, 1 bag of cement. How many boxes of sand required? 2 boxes, because this volume is equal to 1 bag of cement. So, if the mixed proportion is 1:2, 2 boxes of sand. And how many boxes of aggregate? 4 boxes of aggregate, volume is equal to 1 bag of cement. So, 1:2:4, 1 box of cement, that is 1 bag of cement, 2 boxes of sand and 4 boxes of aggregate, 1:2:4. So, that is the convenience or the easiness of making a box like this. The volume is equal to 0.035 m3. Second method is weight batching. So, with the help of weighing balance, big weighing balance balances are available in big project site. So, cement, sand, aggregate, everything can be weighed with the help of the weighing balance. So, that is adopted for big projects. So, there are two ways of measurement of materials, that is batching, volume batching and weight batching. Now, coming to the second one, that is mixing. Now, the materials are ready. Next step is mixing up of cement with the sand, aggregate and water. Again, there are two methods. The first one is hand mixing. Second method is called machine mixing. Hand mixing and machine mixing. First one, hand mixing. Second one, machine mixing. hand mixing, where it is adopted? If the work is a small work or unimportant work, hand mixing can be adopted. If it is an important work, machine should be used to mix the concrete. So, first one, how it is carried out? Cement, sand, aggregate, everything is stacked on a watertight platform, and with the help of a spade or a shovel, it is mixed properly, upside down, downside up. After mixing the materials, water is added. So, that is the procedure in hand mixing, and it is advisable to take 10% extra cement, 10% extra cement if you are adopting manual method or hand mixing, because mixing will not be perfect if you are doing it manually. That is why it is advised to take 10% extra cement. So, if you want to make M15 concrete, in addition to one bag of cement, you have to add say 5 kg extra. Okay. So, next one, machine mixing. What is the name of the machine used for mixing concrete? Yes, mixer machine. The main part of the mixer machine is a drum mounted on a framework like this, and this framework is having 4 wheels at the bottom for transporting from one side to the next side, and one side there will be a steering or a handle, on the other side there will be a motor. Inside the drum there are steel blades fixed in different direction like this. So, this is the main part of the mixer machine. There are different types of mixer machine based on the capacities, based on the operation, there are different types. So, this is the simplest form of the mixer machine. So, with the help of this handle or that wheel or steering, whatever it is, you can tilt the drum from 0 degree to 180 degree. With the help of this motor, it is possible to rotate in the vertical axis. So, if you want to make concrete or mix the concrete, prepare the concrete, you bring the drum opening in this direction with the help of this wheel and pour water first, then add sand, aggregate, cement, etc., and bring it in the vertical direction and start this motor and rotate in its vertical axis 2 to 3 minutes. After completing the mixing process or completing the 3 minutes, you can take the concrete either in the same direction or in the opposite direction by again tilting the wheel. So, that is the procedure adopted in machine mixing. So, mixer machine is used to mix the concrete. Now, the concrete is ready. Next step is transportation. You have to transport, your site may be far away from the mixing place. So, you have to transport the concrete. So, the normal method adopted, usually the concrete is carried with the help of a steel pan, and from hand to hand it is transported. If it is a big project, the equipments or instrument like truck mixer, belt conveyors, chute, etc., are used. So, these are the equipments or instruments used to transport the concrete in big project site. What is truck mixer? It is nothing but a truck or a lorry fitted with a mixer machine. A lorry fitted with a mixer machine. Nowadays, this is a common scene in highways. You might have seen this. So, while transporting the concrete, the mixing process will be carried out. So, that is used to transport the ready mixed concrete. You need not worry about cement, you need not worry about sand, you need not worry about the labor. If you order, the concrete will reach at the site. For that, truck mixer is used to transport the concrete. Belt conveyors, that means if you want to transport the concrete from a lower level to a higher level, say for example, so assume this is the ground level and one building is there. If you want to construct one more room or something above this, you have to transport the concrete from the ground level to the higher level or higher elevation. If that is the case, belt conveyors can be used. There are 2 wheels or pulleys on which one belt will be moving with the containers. So, if you put the concrete here, during this movement of this belt, that concrete will reach at the higher end or higher elevation. Chute, that is used to transport the concrete from a higher level to a lower level. Suppose if your construction is starting from a lower level, this chute is used. A chute is nothing but a steel plate made to this shape, made like this, and if you want to put the concrete from a higher level to a transport the concrete from a higher level to a lower level, concrete is placed deposited here, it will reach at the bottom, that is all. Next is placing. Now, the concrete reached at the site where it has to be placed. So, there will be a temporary vertical support as well as horizontal support, that is called formwork. Horizontal support, temporary horizontal support given for concrete. When we discuss steel plate, I have mentioned this formwork. Steel plate can be used as formwork, that is a temporary horizontal support given for concrete. So, certain points to be remembered while placing the concrete. The first point is formwork should be clean and well watered. Should be clean means it should be free from all the impurities, dust, organic matter, etc. should be removed, and well watered. Well watered means before putting the concrete just sprinkle the water. What is the purpose? Otherwise, what may happen? This steel plate that may absorb water from concrete. If water is removed from concrete, what is the drawback? That hydration process will not take place, hardening process will not take place. So, to avoid that, before putting the concrete just sprinkle the water. So, first point to be remembered is formwork should be clean and well watered. Second point, suppose this is the top of the formwork. Now, if you want to put concrete, how to deposit the concrete? Like this or like this, vertically or inclined. Concrete should be placed or deposited vertically. If you deposit inclined, what may happen? This coarser particle, that is broken stone, may fall here, finer particle may fall here. Separation of materials may take place. Separation of materials in concrete, that is called segregation. Segregation. So, to avoid segregation, avoid the separation of material, cement may come out, water may come out, broken stone may come out from concrete. So, separation of materials. To avoid that, concrete should be placed vertically. So, second point is deposit concrete vertically. Next point, how much can be this height? From how much height you can deposit the concrete? 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter? What should be that height? So, take the concrete according to your convenience, comfortably, without taking much pain or without lifting like this, much strain. Deposit it comfortably. So, place the concrete from a reasonable height. Place from a reasonable height according to your convenience. You can deposit the concrete. So, formwork should be clean and well watered. Deposit concrete vertically from a reasonable height. And fourth point, suppose assume there is a beam of say 70 centimeter, that is called depth or thickness of the beam. Almost all the rooms may be having some beams, depends upon again the size and design and all. So, that depth or height of the beam, say assume it is 70 centimeter. How to deposit the concrete? There are two ways. The first method is you can deposit the concrete like this. That is the first method, or you can deposit the concrete like this. Which method is advisable? First method. So, next point is deposit the concrete in layers. Put the first layer, then go for the second layer, then go for third layer and so on. So, place or deposit the concrete in layers of about 15 centimeter thickness, approximately 15 centimeter thickness. Okay. Last point, how much time you can take for depositing the concrete after preparing concrete? Can you prepare the concrete today and come tomorrow and deposit? Not possible, certainly not possible. So, how much time? Any idea? It should be deposited before 30 minutes. What is the relevance of 30 minutes in cement? Cement initial setting time should not be less than 30 minutes. So, before starting up of that setting process, you have to deposit the concrete. That does not mean that prepare the concrete and say relax, wait for say 25 minutes and last 50 minutes go and deposit. That is not the meaning. As soon as you prepare, deposit the concrete, but it should not exceed 30 minutes. That is a condition. So, deposit or place the concrete, place at the earliest, but time should not exceed 30 minutes. So, before half an hour you have to complete all these process. Place it. So, these are the points to be remembered while placing the concrete. Formwork should be clean and well watered, deposit the concrete vertically, deposit the concrete from a reasonable height and deposit in layers, place it at the earliest. Now, the next step, that is called compaction. Some textbook you can see another term, that is consolidation. Both are same, consolidation or compaction. Consolidation or compaction means removal of the voids, air bubbles from the concrete. What is the necessity? If say 5% voids are present in concrete, 30% of the strength will be decreased. So, at any cost the void should be removed or should be expelled. So, there are two methods to remove the voids. One is hand compaction and second one is machine compaction. So, removal of voids from the concrete. Hand compaction, when we explained or discussed that slum contest, I have mentioned after putting the concrete, compact the concrete. How to compact the concrete? Take say 6 mm diameter steel rod and 2 or 3 steel rod put together, convenient length say 1 meter, and do it like this to remove the voids or the air bubbles. That is hand compaction. That is recommended only for unimportant work or simple works. If it is an important work, machine should be used. What is the machine used for compacting concrete? The machine used for compacting concrete is called vibrator. There are different types of vibrator called internal vibrator, immersion vibrator, surface vibrator, table vibrator, etc., etc. The commonly using vibrator is called internal or immersion vibrator, which consists of a small motor with a long needle like this. So, if you want to compact the concrete, consolidate the concrete, just start the motor. When the motor is started, this needle will start moving like this. So, if you want to compact the concrete, start the motor and put the needle there, that will compact the entire concrete. Then lift the needle and put it in the next place, that will compact the entire area. So, there are many advantages of using vibrator for compacting concrete. The first one, you know, if you are using machinery instead of doing it manually, time can be saved. So, first advantage is time saving. Second advantage is, if you are using vibrator, water content can be minimized. What is the advantage of minimizing the water content? If water is less, strength will be more. So, quality or strength can be increased or improved by reducing the quantity of water. Next advantage is, if you consider any building, there may be so many beams and columns like this. Suppose one beam is going like this, below that there may be a column, and crossing another beam may be like this. So, all these beams and columns contains reinforcement, steel rods. So, it will be difficult to do it manually, the compaction, but if this vibrator and needle is there, very easily you can compact that complicated structure or difficult structure, very easily it can be compacted, and you can see the height maybe 2 or 3 meter. So, it will be difficult to do it manually from top. So, if you insert this needle, the concrete can be very easily compacted in column. So, these are the advantages of using vibrator for compacting concrete: time saving, quality improvement, and complicated structures can be very easily compacted. Last stage in the concreting process, that is called curing of concrete. What is meant by curing of concrete? Keeping the concrete surface wet, that is under moisture condition for some duration, that is called curing. What is the purpose? What is the necessity? Concrete will attain, cement will attain its full strength only in the presence of water. Hydration process will be completed only in the presence of water. That process, keeping the concrete surface wet, is called curing of concrete. What are the different methods? You might have seen this immediately after concrete, in the very next onwards, people used to pour water. That method is called curing. Suppose if the concrete is a flat roof, roof surface, what is the method suggested? The commonly adopted method, divide into panels like this. It will be divided into panels with the help of mud or with the help of cement mortar, or even cow dung can be used to divide into panels and fill water in it. That is the commonly adopting method. So, first method, make ditches with soil and fill water in it. That is the commonly adopting method. That method is possible only if the roof is flat like this. If the roof is like this, nowadays you can see concrete sloping roof. If this is the case, what is the method suggested? You can just spray the water at frequent interval, spraying water at frequent interval. Okay. Otherwise, you can cover the surface with gunny bag. Even wet soil also can be used to cover that sloping surface. So, cover with gunny bags and sprinkle water at frequent interval. Okay. Next, suppose if a small concrete block like this, what is the effective method? Just make a temporary, construct a temporary water tank and dip this into that water. That is the effective method. So, the last method suggested is water tank can be constructed and small member can be dipped in it. So, these are some commonly adopting method for keeping the surface wet. Make ditches with the soil and fill water in it, or you can say divide into panels, small panels, roof surface, then fill water in it. Simply spraying the water at frequent interval, covering it with wet soil or gunny bags and sprinkling the water at frequent interval. And for small members, the effective method is temporary water tank can be constructed and the small members can be dipped in it. So, these are the different steps or stages involved in the concreting process. To revise, the first one, batching. Batching means measurement of materials for making concrete. Volume batching is there, weight batching is there. Commonly adopting method is volume batching. Then if it is a major work, important work, weighing balance should be used to weigh these materials. Next is mixing. Hand mixing is there, machine mixing is there. If hand mixing adopted, manual method is adopted, it is advised to take 10% extra cement. So, machine used for making concrete is called mixer machine. So, concrete prepared from a mixer machine will be perfectly mixed one. Next is transportation. Usually human ladder is formed and concrete is transferred from hand to hand. If it is a major work, truck mixer, belt conveyors, etc. are used. Next is placing. So, before placing, what are the points to be remembered? Formwork should be clean and well watered. Deposit the concrete vertically from a reasonable height and put it in layers of approximately 15 centimeter thickness. When it should be deposited? Deposit it at the earliest, but the time should not exceed 30 minutes. That is very, very important. Compaction. Compaction means the removal of voids, bubbles from the concrete. What is the necessity? If 5% voids are present, 30% of its strength will be decreased. So, at any cost, bubbles, voids should be removed from the concrete. That process is called compaction or consolidation. How it is carried out? Either manually, hand compaction, or with the help of vibrators. Then comes the curing. Curing, when you discuss curing, your discussion should contain what is curing, what is the necessity of curing, what are the different methods of curing. What is curing? Keeping wet. Keeping the concrete surface wet is called curing. What is the necessity? Then only the concrete will attain its maximum strength. What are the different methods? Simply spraying water or making ditches with soil and filling water in it, covering it with gunny bags. For small members, the effective method is dipping in water tank. Okay? Hope it is clear for you. Thank you.